Welcome back to Chin Music, our baseball show at TalkNorth.com. Today's lineup, LaVelle Neal III, baseball columnist and general columnist at the Star Tribune. Royce Smalley, former Twins star, former Twins broadcaster. I'm Jim Souhan from the Star Tribune and TalkNorth.com. We are coming to you from the Aquarius Home Services studio, and we're presented to you by OnX Maps. I'll tell you a bit more about our sponsors a little bit. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it. Let's get right to Royce Lewis. He kills it in AAA. They bring him up. He's hit he had a couple homers. He had some extra base hits. Let's go to our hitting expert. Roy, are you seeing a real difference in Royce Lewis?
He looks like he's settling in a little bit now. It's hard when it's this subtle. It's hard to see when the change is when his approach now is, I think, subtly different than it was before he went down. I think he looks better. I just think he's gonna have to play, a whole bunch of major league games, and see whatever he was working on if it translates into consistency.
Yeah, he was joking last week in the clubhouse about his old leg kick used to be higher than the pitcher when the pitcher kicked his leg on the mound. So this version of his leg kick is not as exaggerated as it used to be, but maybe it's the happy medium he needed to find. I just, there's more than one way to hit a baseball. He has just found a way where he can have some success. You're seeing the power. He's having better at bats. So we just got to sit back and kind of watch this now. You just hope that, his transition to being on the right side of the infield fielder, doesn't come into play here because, he's booted a couple balls at second. I think one was going to ricochet in the left field if it wasn't for Tristan Gray to stop it. And he had another weird play at first, but that's expected, when he's playing those positions for the first time. You just hope that the bad one doesn't leak over into his offense. But so far, so good. He seems to have that exuberance back. He seems to be happy and excited in the clubhouse again. So it's just time to see what he can do.
Yeah, I think that the lesser leg kick is a good thing for him. And that might be the difference. I mean, we talked about it with Matt Wallner, but when you have a big leg kick, Matt, you have got to get the front foot down on time. And I think with the little loop in his swing that he had before that was being exploited, you compound that with not being on time with your front foot, with your stride, and it makes it really hard. So I think that's the one thing that's giving him a better chance right now is the lesser leg kick, foot being down on time, front foot being down a little bit more on time. That's gonna help things an awful lot. It's not going to exacerbate if he never gets rid of this swing being just a little long, but he's on time with his stride and mentally at the plate, he can start figuring pitchers out and how they're pitching into different things. Then I think he's got a chance. That was that's the only real big mechanical thing that I've seen. He's still a little bit long, but he can get away with that if everything else is right and his head's right about how to figure pitchers.
If there's ever a season where you can devote time to letting him learn how to play a position, this is that season. Let him go figure out first base or second base or wherever he's going to play in the future.
I agree. The expectations are low for this team. This is a great time to experiment, and a great time to, give some guys a chance to see if they can establish themselves.
All right, let's move on to another topic because we talk about Royce a lot. It's nice to see him having some success, but we still have a long way to go there. So we've talked about Culpepper coming up, and maybe as they were getting close to that, he pulls a glute muscle. He's out for a while. We've talked about Sabato earning his way to some at-bats in the big leagues. We've seen other players surge and wonder if they were going to get called up, and they call it Fedko. And I'm not ripping it because since I think April 12th, his OPS is over 1,000. He's been crushing it in the minor leagues, and he's versatile. Did that move surprise you, LaVelle? And has Fedko made himself a top prospect, or is this just kind of a nice trial period for him?
I think how it is when you watch an Indy 500, and all of a sudden on the last lap, there's like a wreck, and like 3 cars are spinning out, and one guy comes charging through the middle. ends up winning the race. That's Fedko getting to the majors because, at the beginning of the year, they had Emmanuel Rodriguez, they had Walker Jenkins, they had a full outfield of highly thought of prospects. And Brian Dukeman actually had to go to Fedko and say, look, we got top prospects here. They got to play. You're going to have to be patient. You're not going to get a lot of playing time early. You got to be patient, wait for your chance to just take advantage of it. And sure enough, Jenkins got hurt. Rodriguez got hurt. Gonzalez got moved to first base a little bit, and Fedko ended up getting time, and he took off with it. It's a great story. I think he was a 12th round pick. Wasn't highly touted as a prospect, but the last couple of years, he's turned it on at the plate. I think he hit 28 homers between two levels last year. And he's got 15 homers right now. I don't know how good of a defensive player he is, but he can run a little bit. He definitely has some pop. But you brought up, if there was a year for something like this to happen, this is it. Kyler Fedko emerging from the wreckage at St. Paul to get his major league opportunity.
I'm looking forward to seeing him play. I don't know anything about that. I mean, I know a little bit about some of the more highly touted guys, but Fedko is. I thought that was a Kmart competitor. I didn't know who you were talking about. So, so I'm looking forward to that. 15 home runs in a short period of time. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing him.
And he can play first base in all three outfield spots. So he could be, they have too many super utility players right now. I don't think they need another super utility player, but they need a first baseman. And with all the injuries to their top prospects who play outfield, they might need an outfielder. You just don't know. And if the AAA numbers translate the way they usually do.
And he's right-handed. Oh.
Yeah. And he's a right-handed hitter.
Off the lineup a little bit more.
This is a window where he could earn a job. Let's move on to Wallner because he's another guy who didn't get called up, even though he's been crushing it down there. LaVelle, I assume that's because they just don't want him to bounce up and down anymore. They want to make sure he's really changed something before they call him up.
Yeah, I think Wallner just has turned it on in the last 3 weeks to kind of resemble the guy they thought he can be. So I guess they want to see him ride that out a little bit longer. Fedko has been hitting for like over a month. The last 6 weeks, he's been on a tear at the plate. So I'm guessing they just want to show a little patience with Wallner and make sure he stays hot, because I think the next time they bring him up, they want it to be the last time they have to bring him up from the minors. So he's still down there working on some things, but it looks like he's starting to have some success, and that's a good thing too. Perhaps he's getting hungry to return. That can help motivate him as well. But he's going to wait for an opportunity. You don't root for people to get injured, but he may need someone to break down and have to go on the IL to create a spot for him to return. You never know. Or someone to continue to slump or fall into a bad slump. But he's got to weigh his opportunity, and right now it's Fedko's turn.
Yeah, I think it's the right decision to make him prove it. He was really broken when he was up here, as we all know, and it 3 weeks doesn't necessarily mean broken is glued back together. So I think that's a wise move. I think he has to totally conquer AAA, and maybe his swing process, maybe his mechanics, maybe all that stuff can handle AAA and not the big leagues. We don't know for sure about that yet, but I think it's important for him to really wear out AAA pitching. A few times around the league when he sees everybody, sees a lot of pitchers, sees them for the third, fourth time, and see how he does. See if he continues to prove that he doesn't. His swing mechanics may be okay for AAA and just doesn't work up here. But he's got to totally hit his way out of AAA, I think, after how broken he was and how it looked like Major League pitching was going to overpower him. I think it's right to say, you got to prove it.
Yeah, he's just got his batting average at 267. He's got a 901 OPS, and that's just from the recent surge he's got going on here. I'm noticing like 26 games, he's only walked 8 times. I know he's there to mash, but I just think he got off to a really slow start trying to figure some things out at the beginning, and now it looks like he's starting to find something. So We'll see where this goes, but at least he's showing signs of life at St. Paul.
What I want to see, that he's going to hit home runs in AAA. And if he hits home runs, he's going to have high OPS. So I don't really care about those things. We know he can hit the ball over the fence. What I want to see is on-base percentage. I want to see him improve his on-base percentage dramatically. That will indicate that he's taking the correct pitches. He's drawing walks. He's taking, he's, as Roy always talks about, when the home run pitch doesn't show up, he has another option to find a way to hit the ball and put it in play and get on base. And I'm not saying tap the ball. I want him to hit it hard, but I want him to hit some balls hard up the middle that are pitched, on the outside part of the plate or the middle of the part of the plate. The home runs are going to happen with him. Well, I want to see good at-bats and the non-home run at-bats.
Yeah, that's really a good point. And to refine it down a little, even a little bit more, we're not going to see this because we're not watching them every day. But if I were the guy making the decision down there to tell the Twins, yeah, this is for real, I would want to see the swung on and missed on good pitches to hit, swung on and fouled back on good pitches to hit, get cut dramatically, right? So when a fastball in the middle of the plate shows up, it doesn't mean he has to hit a home run, but is he putting that play hard somewhere? Is he making contact with that pitch rather than just missed it, fouled it back, or swing and a miss? That's the thing that killed him is how many grid pitches to hit in the big leagues he did not hit. They were swing and miss or foul back. And that's that's a fine point, but that's what I would be looking at when you get, I don't care so much about swinging and missing it down in back foot slider or swinging it up in the zone, which is not really a strength. Okay, guys are going to strike out, guys are going to do different things. But in the meantime, how many pitches in the middle of the plate is he putting in play? And even more important, how many times is he not swinging and missing that pitch or fouling it back?
Yeah, I see that. And, I'm looking at the last 7 games he's played and he's walked once. So that, to Jim's point about on-base percentage, that's maybe the next step for him. And maybe he just felt like he needed to swing his way out of trouble at first. And now he can start focusing on having better at-bats and having that reflect in OPS and on-base percentage.
Roy's going to love this show because I want to keep talking about hitters. First, though, let's remind you that we're coming to you from the Aquarius Home Services studio.
Scott for Aquarius, your independent authorized Connecticut dealer. Are you ready for the worry-free water your family deserves? This summer, trade in your old water softener and trade up to a Connecticut system. Say goodbye to hard water, rust stains, and contaminants, and hello to worry-free water and an additional $500 off on top of our summer sale pricing. Schedule your free water test today at AquariusHomeservices.com. Aquarius, earning the right to be recommended.
Chin Music is also presented to you by OnX Maps. The app does the scouting work so you don't have to. Species distribution data, proven fishing areas, historical survey data from state DNRs. OnX Fish aggregates all of it into one place so you're not piecing together 3-year-old forum posts. Stop fishing the same lake because it's the only one you know. OnX Fish will let you filter lakes by species abundance, trophy keeper potential. It's only $34.99 for the year, less than a spool of good braid. Download OnX Fish on the App Store or go to onxmaps.com/fish and fish smarter this season. Of course, OnX Maps also has their hunting app that you can check out, and we do appreciate it. Here's Talk North star John Krasinski for True Vision Institute.
True Vision Institute in Bloomington. Go to truevision.com to set up your free consultation. Get in there, go through all of the steps that they take you through. It's an exhaustive but a very, very intelligent and educating process about all of the vision correction options that are available to you. I had LASIK surgery with True Vision about 2 years ago now. And it's been just an incredible thing for my life. I don't have to deal with the hassles of glasses and contacts anymore. I see clearly, both up close and far away. And if you're watching this on YouTube right now, you can see that no glasses. And so I don't have to worry about constantly, are these glasses fashionable or am I in the right style now? Is my prescription up to date? Do I have to go back and get another batch of daily contacts? Like, All of that hassle is gone, and my life is so much easier because I went to True Vision in Bloomington. So go to TrueVision.com, set up your consultation, tell them the John Krasinski Show sent you, and get on with living your best life after LASIK surgery at True Vision.
And we're very grateful to be associated with a Minnesota company that does so much good work, Minnesota Masonic Charities.
Today, I want to talk a little bit about the Minnesota Masonic Charities. When you think about the Masons, I get it. You think about the funny hats, those pancake breakfasts, which are phenomenal. But my dear friend John Schweitz and I have chatted about this, and it's so much more than that. They've got the Masonic home over in Bloomington. They've got the hospital for the children over at the U of M. They are the largest fraternal organization in terms of charitable needs in our country, and they deserve a ton of recognition. So thank you, Minnesota Masonic Charities, for all you do and for supporting us over here at Talk North, and a special thanks to my good friend, John Schweitz.
Lastly, get out to the ballpark. I did an outstate radio hit the other day, and the host was telling me that he took a friend who hadn't been to Target Field to the game the other day against the Cardinals, and honestly, they loved being at Target Field so much they didn't even care what the score was. And the Twins actually won that game. But if you haven't been to Target Field, or if you haven't been to Target Field lately, get out and watch a ball game.
Here is where it all starts. Here's where pages are turned and new legends are written. Here's where kids become lifelong fans and lifelong fans become kids. Here's where sunsets last longer, happy hour tastes better, and summer hits its stride. And when all of Twins territory stands together and believes hard enough, well, there's no place like here. Get your tickets at twins.com.
The days are longer, the calendar is filling up, and I want to feel as good as this beautiful summer weather. That's why I've been loving Groons. It's one daily pack of gummies that covers my greens, vitamins, and minerals, and even has 6 grams of prebiotic fiber, so I don't need to juggle a complicated wellness routine on top of everything else. They taste amazing. They're easy to toss in my bag on the go. Plus, they're vegan, gluten-free, and HSA, FSA eligible for reimbursement. Save up to 52% off with promo code podcast at gruns.co. That's code podcast at gruns.co.
All right, Cody Clements. Speaking of super utility players, I mean, he keeps hitting. He keeps making plays around the diamond. His OPS is hanging around 790, 800, which is pretty dang good. Is he a player, or is he a guy who you play a lot because you're not very good, or is he a guy who could be a good player on a good team?
I'm not sure yet, but it's trending in that direction. You know, Cody Clemens just came into our lives about a year ago at this time, and he showed some promise, and then he kind of scuffed it at the end of the season. And up at, I think it was like 218 or something like that. And this year, you know, he's taking another step forward. You know, he's hitting around 246, which in this league is not shabby. You know, he's showing power again. He's showing some key hits, and if you look at the current iteration of the Twins batting order, Derek Shelton's got Cody batting cleanup. I don't know if it's because he doesn't have anyone else, any other option, but you know, that's been his best option right now when he's trying to craft a lineup. So Cody has done some things to, I guess, earn that. He kind of just grows on you, you know, over time. You think like, okay, he's going to be a guy who for 2 or 3 weeks he's going to hit. Then you got to worry about him being overexposed and sit him down. But no, you know, it looks like there's some sustainability here with Cody, and good for him because it's taken him, you know, a few years to find a place where he can get some traction in his career, and he's found it here in Minnesota.
Yeah, you watch him play, and the word gamer kind of jumps into your mind. I mean, he plays hard, he plays the game the right way, he's got a great attitude, and he goes up and gives really tough at bats. And you know, 246 is not anything to get really excited about. But on the other hand, on this lineup, to your point, LaVelle, that's the best option in the middle of the order for Derek Shelton right now, just, you know, because of the nature of everybody else around him. So against right-handed pitching, you know, he's got a chance. Every time he walks up there, he has a chance. And so you got to give it to him. And kind of like the Fedko situation, getting a chance to go up here, less about injuries and more just about injuries to batting averages are up and down the lineup. You know, they're just that lineup is somewhat anemic, as to say the least, right now, and so he's going to get a chance. And so now we'll see. My is always going to be what you just said about getting overexposed, and he can have some really nice streaks, and then at some point in time he's going to revert to the mean, that whatever the mean is for him, and it's probably not. The bar is not quite as high. We don't know. He's going to get a chance to prove what the bar is, what the mean is for him this year. So good luck to him. I hope he does well, because I like him as a player. I like the way he goes about it. He plays different positions and gives it everything he's got, and it's been pretty good. So good for him. Let's see what he can do about it. He's going to get regular at bats now for the first time in his career, and so let's see what he does.
Yeah, he's got good attitude about it too, and he's actually a pleasant fellow to talk to. Last year when I did a column on him, I was talking about his bat speed. Your bat speed's improved from a year ago. He's like, everybody keeps saying that. I don't know what I've done. I'm just getting pitches and hitting them, So he's actually a pretty cool guy to talk to as well. And you got to have a good attitude in his situation, because he's trying to have a Major League Baseball career.
Yeah, he is one of the players I like watching the most on this team. All right, let's get to Byron Buxton. I don't want to belabor the point, because Roy broke it down so well in the previous weeks. But now Buxton's at 23 homers, 36 RBI. The home run, he could win the home run title this year if he stays healthy enough. And I just wonder if there will be a point where the RBIs start, increasing at a higher rate. And again, Roy already broke it down, but I've just never seen anything like this.
Well, it's interesting that Shelton's dropped him down to the 2 spot now and using other guys leadoff. I think that helps. I mean, it's not necessarily Byron's fault that he's not driving in a lot of runs, because he's batting leadoff, so he's dealing with the 7th, 8th, and 9th hitters trying to get on base in front of him, and it just hasn't been a lot of opportunities. So maybe this is a chance for him to beef up his RBIs a little bit. There seems to be some consternation among Twins fans because Buck is only 4th in outfield voting for the All-Star game, but I think that's pretty good considering you got Aaron Judge, and he's going to get all the votes. Mike Trout probably doesn't deserve to be 2nd. I believe Cody Bellinger of the Yankees is 3rd with Buxton's 4th. I think that's a good spot. I actually don't know what Mike Trout's doing this year. Maybe he's actually having a good year, but it seems like to me that's a lot of reputation votes that he's getting. But still, I think Buck has made a name for himself around the league, and what he's doing is pretty impressive, and it's exciting to watch. And I almost texted you, Roy, the other day. Buck hit a ball hard to right center field. It was a pitch on the out half of the plate, and I had my phone. I was about to text you. I ended up getting into something else, but I started thinking about you immediately.
By the way, Trout has an 852 OPS, hitting 230, 16 home runs. So he's not having a Mike Trout year. He's having an okay right player. He's having an okay season. He's not having a Buxton season.
So I think Buck is having a Buxton season. That's just what I'll say. I'm not gonna say anything that's at all denigrating or pejorative, because this is who he is, and it's not who I want him. So I mean, you can make all kinds of jokes. I'm thinking, he's Rob Deere with speed.
Rob Deere. Wow.
Rob Deere with speed. My God. That's hilarious.
Obviously, I'm being way facetious here, but 23 home runs and 36 RBIs. Some of it is hitting leadoff, but he's had a lot of chances. I've seen him up with the bases loaded a number of times, and the ball doesn't get driven with the bases loaded with nearly the same frequency as leading off a game or leading off an inning or 2 outs, in an inning. So it just is what it is. Buck is a remarkable talent. He's going to play the best center field in the league and hit 40 home runs. Enough said. He's an all-star.
He's an all-star.
I'm glad I'm glad we have a chance to watch him every day.
I wish it was 4 years ago and he was healthy like he is right now. It really would have been spectacular to see.
Yeah. let's get to one more baseball topic. Then I do have a booze and blues topic I want to get to for our end of the show fun time. LaVelle, just run down injury. I mean, don't run down every injury, but anybody of significance who's close to being back, or close, anything you think is important. Just give us a quick update.
Man, it's funny because I was at the ballpark last week when Jeremy Zoll did an injury update, and I counted 18 players between the majors and the minors he had to cover. It was ridiculous. And there was some guys I didn't even, like their third round pick from a year ago hasn't pitched at all this year. He's got some elbow forearm strain. And I was like, I didn't even know he was out. The one noteworthy development on the injury front is that Alan Roten has completed his minor league rehabilitation assignment, and he has been sent back to the Saints. So Alan Roten is back. He's the guy who came along with Kendrick Rojas in the Louis Varland trade, and we all see what Rojas's stuff is. But Roten's a guy who probably has done all he needs to do in the minors. He's hit minor league pitching at a high level. He probably would have made the team out of spring training if it was not for the fact that James Outman was out of options. They couldn't set him down because he had a better spring than Outman. And that just reminds me how the best players don't always make teams out of spring training. And then he got hurt. So he's healthy now. He's back in the mix. So, Wallner's got another guy to compete now for they need a left-handed outfielder to come up and hit. Roden's got a chance to put himself in the mix there. So I've been intrigued by the guy. I like the numbers in the minors. I want to see how it translates to the majors. And I was hoping he'd get a chance to show what he can do at this point, but he has not yet. That's the big one. Mick Abel should be throwing another bullpen this week. And then making another minor league rehab start this week as well. And he's probably, of the pitchers, he's probably the most closest to getting back in rotation. And the Twins could sorely need any healthy arm they can. It sounds like Bailey Ober and needs a couple more weeks as he's ramping up. And so does David Festa. But we knew Festa was going to be, late June, early July anyway. So, and they're going to be real careful with him as he tries to bounce back. The disappointing one is that Cole Sands had a setback last week in his ramping up, and they've had to kind of take their time with him because the bullpen sorely needs. A couple years ago, Cole Sands looked like the next Griffin Jackson in terms of being a guy who you could rely on, like in a late inning situation, and they could use that right now. So those are the main ones. We need to get this injury update a sponsor because it seems like it's going to be an issue every week.
No doubt about it. All right, let's go to our Booze and Blues segment. By the way, if anybody who wants to sponsor the show, advertise with us. Tammy Henderson is our fantastic Vice President of Business Development. You can reach her at thenderson@talknorth.com, and you might want to sponsor the Booze and Blues segment. I'm going to start this week. Roy got me fired up about Buddy Guy last week, or maybe it was LaVelle who got me fired up about Buddy Guy. Somebody did. Say it again?
No, he's coming to town, so it's a good reason to be fired up.
Yeah. And so I found I went back and found one of my favorite Buddy Guy songs, and I thought I'd recommend it to everybody. What Kind of Woman Is This? Just classic, fierce Buddy Guy, guitar playing, great singing, just a great song.
I think it's such a great song.
It is. It's awesome. That's a great jam, man. And you see the title, you start laughing because it's going to be something really good. And Buddy Guy brings it on that one. Oh man.
When I first heard that song, oh my gosh, it was right when it first came out, whenever that was. Many years, I don't know, more than before pre-COVID. Because my wife and I are in New York, and she's dragging me along. And we're going to what she calls. We get to New York, and she go and we walk up to and walk in the front door of Bergdorf Goodman, and she goes, the mothership. Hey, I'm back in the mothership. I knew I'm in trouble, and she's dragging me around Bergdorf, looking at all kinds of stuff, and all of a sudden, they're playing background music, and all of a sudden, I hear the song. There's just this jam. And I'm going, wait a minute, what is that? And I got out my little Shazam app, and it could just barely make it out. and it was Buddy Guy, What Kind of Women Is This? And immediately without any playlist I have. I mean, it's just so good.
Yeah.
Anybody else have a contribution for the Booze and Blues segment today?
No, I'm trying to think of the lyrics of that song. Something about the gates of heaven opening up. Isn't that like at the beginning of the song?
Yes.
Yep. Yes. Yeah.
The gate of heaven must be open. I just saw an angel.
Not by. That's right. Not by. Yes.
Which of course reminds me of the great. That reminds me of the great. Go ahead, Roy.
No, go ahead.
I would say that reminds me of the great B.B. King song. What is it? My baby's an angel. I love it when she spreads her wings.
That's right. But or nobody knows about my money, but she could be jiving too.
Yeah. If I ever taught a class in creative writing, I would just have people listen to blues music for 2 weeks and write about it.
Oh my God. The lines. There was such great competition to come up with a great line that would, sell your song and give because they could all play. Let's face it.
Yeah.
All the great oldies could play the blues. You had to have a hook, man. You had to have a hook to bring in an audience.
That's right. No doubt, man.
All right, good stuff, guys. I'm going to go on vacation here for a couple of weeks. You guys will be on the show without me. Enjoy that. A lot of freedom. You can talk about whatever you want. So I'll be looking forward. I'll be listening to the shows from Europe, but I'm out for a little bit. So enjoy the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, we're just going to talk about you. We're just going to talk about you.
Our ratings will go way down if you do that.
I didn't say.
But feel free. Say it again, Roy.
I didn't say it's going to be good.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. You made no promises.
Let me rephrase that. We're going to trash you.
Okay. Well, and I deserve it. It's about time.
We need the ratings.
Yes. Get after me. All right, gentlemen. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.